going to get an antigen test today.
So I just got the test done. The clinic was really busy and they just like shove a stick up your nose. It was actually a little more uncomfortable than the Canadian PCR test. And now I'm waiting for my EU COVID passport and I'll get a QR code and then I can go to any venue. So far no one has asked me for that, but tonight I'm going to an actual like club. I came across the flagship store of a local brand called Desigual, and it had this collection from a designer with the craziest patterns. I actually bought several pieces. This skirt I wore this night to this cool art event I attended, and it was one of the friendliest places I went on my whole trip. It had flamenco dancers, art, a weird interpretive dance show that I should have recorded, but I didn't get any footage of. But it was really cool, and that's one thing that is nice about big cities is they have a lot of events. This is the view from the rooftop of the Madison Hotel. So I went to La Rampa quite a bit. There are so many people there. In the daytime, it feels safe other than pickpockets, but at night, there's definitely some sketchy characters there. I wouldn't recommend going there alone at night. I just watched the most amazing flamenco show ever, and I couldn't take any footage, but it was mind-blowing and life-changing. Watching flamenco in Spain was a bucket list item for me. The theater that it's in is also really famous because it's an absolute work of art, and so is this dress that I got from Desigual. I'm obsessed with it. If you haven't noticed, I really love fashion, and you definitely stand out if you have a flashy style in Barcelona. Everyone dresses really muted and understated and very casual. Hola, today we're going to Casa Batlló. Probably should have looked up how to say that. One of the famous architect Antoni Gaudi's creations. I'm really excited to see all the beautiful art inside of it, and I'm going to show you clips of it because I think it's like a life-changing art piece, but it's a home, and I haven't really been that interested in architecture in the past, but I think I am changing, so that's really interesting. So come on, let's go. I'm going into the tour and I have headphones on. So I'm so glad I bought the gold experience because they gave me a free champagne. So good. This room is like all draped chainmail. Something I found weird about this experience is that there is all these modern changes, like this digital 3D theater show at the end and like this audio visual experience at the start, and they updated a water fountain on the roof. So I felt confused. I'm like, what's historical? What's real? I don't know. I wouldn't go back, but I'm glad I went. But I'm definitely not a sightseer. It's confirmed. But thanks, Antoni Gaudi. That was weird. I'm checking out of this hotel. I'm moving to another one in a different area, and I'm really excited. I feel like I overstayed this area like 1 or 2 days. It's definitely not as high end as the one I was just in, but it is a suite, so it has like a little kitchenette, which is probably going to save me quite a bit of money for my last 3 days. And I'm only on the first floor. My other room I was on the 7th floor, but at least I'm not on the ground. But it's kind of cool for people watching. Let's go to the beach. Let's go to the beach. It's supposed to be windy tomorrow, so I'm gonna swim today. I got my big woolly sweater on. Okay, I'm just about to go in the ocean, and it is gonna be cold, so I'm like a little bit nervous. I'm gonna bring you with me. There's lots of people swimming though, but they're like swimming for fitness. It's cold, but not like Pacific Ocean cold. Pretty rocky on the feetsies, but there's no like barnacles. Oh my god, I don't know if I can dip in. I'm scared. I'm scared. The waves are a little crashy. I think I'm just gonna sit on the rocks and let them This ocean feels warmer than the Pacific Ocean in like the heat of summer in August. and so does the air outside. Like, I stood in the tide for a while when I was already wet, and I was like fine. And in the Pacific Ocean, like Canada-wise, that is not a thing. It's like you get in your towel ASAP unless there's like a random heat wave. But I find that really amazing, and I wish I could go all the way in, but I just feel weird bringing my phone underwater. Like, I really love my phone, especially on a trip. And it says it's waterproof, but I just don't know about all that. Good morning. I'm just on the top deck of my new hotel, which just has a really beautiful view of the harbor. I tried to catch the sunrise, but it's too cloudy. There's like a crazy Ferris wheel thing over there. I'm gonna walk along that side of the harbor today because I've only been along the super yacht side towards the beach. So I finally found like an actual mall, like a similar to a North American mall. I'm in this store called Bershka, and it's totally my style. It's like trendy and pretty affordable. We are really obsessed with sequins here and embroidery, and I've noticed that obviously a very heavy 70s pattern is in. Here's a different shot of the harbor. So I think I'm done at the mall. I didn't even mean to come to the mall, but I just came across it. I also want to note that even though I see all these flashy things in stores, I don't see anyone wearing them. I don't know if it's just like for Christmas parties. All right, we're gonna go check out this park that is apparently a thing to see. All right, we made it. There's like a pagoda. There's tons of statues. This is obviously like the grand, beautiful monument. Side note, I love that it's like international, that there's men playing reggae sitting on benches in parks like all over the world. Like, I love that. It's amazing. Okay, we're up close and personal with this stunning monument now. It just has everything you need in a monument. Like, what more could you ask for? Gods, goddesses, angels, horses, peace. What else? It's like that guy with the pitchfork. I don't even know his name. So I just got an Irish coffee, and it's in this weird glass with no handle, and I can barely hold it, and the heat disintegrated the paper straw, but I'm excited. It's strong. So the reviews online said that place had really unwelcoming and unfriendly staff, and it's so true, which is so weird because they're attached to the wax museum, so it's like you're obviously gonna get tourists, plus you're decorated like a freaking forest. So this has been like a spiritual transformation trip, even though I was fantasizing about it being like a playful social trip. But I had a moment with a monarch butterfly. I've had countless white feathers dance in front of me. I've had a very distinct ear ringing warning. I had a distinct mental warning, like a thought, but it wasn't my thought, about a circumstance. It's been a trip. I don't want to live in Europe. I learned that for sure. And I really do like churros. I already knew that. I really miss fresh vegetables and free water. And I love the way servers treat you in North America. I'm not going to take that for granted. I've always tipped them well, but like, I didn't know that wasn't a global situation. Like, what a privilege it is to truly be served in restaurants. I love that. Anyways, adios. Let's fly out of this bitch. 20-hour voyage home. So I just got back to Canada. I'm in Vancouver. It's gray, it's wet, it's crisp, just like I'm used to. Everyone speaks English. I love it. I'm so happy to be home. The border was really easy. I just had to do a nasal PCR test, and then now I have to go quarantine.